Welcome to the RaceOnOz PC Monday Night League. It's season 3, it's round 4, and we are in the south of France. We're back from a little break. We had a little break last week after Circuit of the Americas, and we are back at Paul Ricard to do it all over again. It's going to be a 60-minute sprint race tonight. My name's Nick. I'm going to be taking you through the majority of tonight's proceedings. I am joined, though. I don't just have one guest tonight. I have two guests. I have Joe. Joe, my man, how you going?
Very well, thank you, Nick. Hope you're having a great week so far. Looking forward to tonight.
Monday's been good so far, so far can't complain. And we also have another guest tonight. We have the one and the only Mitchell Weston. Mitchell, how you going?
Good, thanks. I'm glad to be here. Really excited. We've got some good drivers in here. Unpopular opinion, I like this track, so I'm excited to see how it all pans out tonight. Some difficult cars, some easy cars, all that good stuff. So anyway, yeah, glad to be here. Thanks, Nick.
Well, the rumour going around is you're a bit of a Paul Ricard expert, so we're going to lean on your expertise this evening, and you can give us, me on that. you can give us a bit of an inside line. But before we do that, though, we need to just go through and we'll have a quick look at some championship standings, and we'll also have a look a little bit more at the circuit as well. So I think we'll get started with that. We'll have the next screen. Yes. Yeah, so it's Andy O'Hara again. So that was 3 wins on the trot for Andy. He's in dominant form at the moment. Ryan Duong, he started in P2 and he finished in P2. Bruno Gallo actually qualified P4 but finished on the podium again. So I do believe that is his third place in a row. So Bruno Gallo very, very consistent. Ali Karudin as well in the Honda. He came home in P4. Then rounding out the top 5, Marcus Van Vierle as well. Nice result from him. Good to see him up there in the Lamborghini. I believe that's the only Lamborghini in the top 10. So nice work from him. Anas Sarskis as well in the Porsche. He came home in 6th. 7th was Mitch Hobbs. He was in the Aston Martin, as was James Pierre-Reid, who finished 1 spot behind him. It was the twins there in 7th and 8th. 9th was Art Vanderlei in the ever-reliable Honda. Then we've got Phil Kraithios as well in the BMW, Anthony Cesana and Nando Latenzio. They're 3 silver drivers. So in 10th, 11th and 12th. Then 13th was Paul Russell, Andrew Lawrenson in P14. And then rounding out the top 15, you had John Stockton. The last 3 all in the Aston Martin there. 16th, another silver driver, Stephen Haycock. Nice work from him. Daniel Hemi Bateman in the McLaren. He and Simeon Cocco, 17th and 18th. Then we had a couple more pro drivers. Matt Frost and Rowdy Clayton, 19th and 20th. I missed out on commentating on Rowdy. In 21st was Adrian Rice. He was in the Aston Martin as well. Wally Masterson, Neil Fakeney, Peter Wall, and Peter McElhenney. From 21 to 25, they're all silver drivers. Desman, he was in the pro, but I believe he has gone down to silver moving forward from here. Chris Hildebrandt and Nathan Wilson was a DNF. So sitting at top of the table right now, it is Adrian Rice for Pagnian Next Level Racing. He's sitting on 115 points. So he's got a 16-point buffer between him and Anthony Cesana from Beyond Trophies. His BTR teammate Phil Croathios sitting there in third position on 80. Neil Fakeney for ICR, he's on 76. He's only 1 point ahead of his teammate as well, Chris Hildebrandt, in fifth position. Nathan Wilson, despite his poor result last week, he's in sixth spot there on 61. He's tied with Peter Wall and Simeon Cocco in 7th and 8th. Then 9th is Wally Masterson and 10th is Carlos Dominiak. Now, moving along to the Pro Series, we've got Andy O'Hara. He's sitting out in front right now on 280 points. So a sizable lead for 45 points over the Gamesman Racing Team driver of Bruno Gallo. Mitch Hobbs there sitting in P3 right now for Pagnian Next Level on 182. Marcus Van Vliet, he's hot on his heels. He's only 5 points behind. He's 5 points ahead of Paul Russell in the Aston Martin for P&L in P5. Ryan Duong, he had a great result last week. That's boosted him up the tables. He's sitting in 6th. Ali Karudin as well. He was on the podium last week. He's sitting in 7th spot. Then Andrew Lawrenson, James Pierre-Reid, and Art Vanderlei in 8th, 9th, and 10th. And now the all-important teams results as well. So ICR, Ignition Controls Racing, sitting on 837 points. So a pretty hefty lead there for them at the moment from over Gamesman Racing Team. Pagnian Next Level Racing sitting in third on 693. Bruce Hale Racing and Selby Acoustics. I'm not... It's all good. They're in 4th and 5th. That's all you need to know. And in 6th spot is Beyond Trophies Racing. They're sitting on 433 points. So that is the championship standings, the teams and the drivers. What do you think, Joe? What do you think of the drivers' situation at the moment? Andy O'Hara is looking hard to beat this season.
It's very good the way things are going so far in this championship. I think it's going to be, well, we're hoping it tightens up in pro. O'Hara's going to be tough to beat. Silver class, there's plenty of competition for Adrian Rice who's leading. And this is also the first round where the AM drivers are joining back into the main series. Which is really good to see. It's going to be great to see how these guys go back in with the pro drivers. And I am looking forward to this race, and we'll have a look at the track itself. We'll go on a track walk of...
Yeah, Paul Ricard. Thank you. Mitchell, you said that you're a guilty sort of pleasure that you like this circuit. I too like Paul Ricard. I find it quite enjoyable, especially one of the challenges of this track is track limits. So maybe you want to give us a bit of a rough track guide, if you like, from a driver's eye perspective around track limits and where can you make time, but where can you lose time around here as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of tricky corners on this track. Just a brief overview. Turn 1 and 2, really easy to mess it up there. And it's really easy to just kind of fluke it, get it right, and you'll be 3/10 up and kind of just confuse it to how that's happened. It's really all in focusing on the exit. And that's going to be the case of a lot of corners here. As you go through Sector 1, you've got that exit turn 6 onto the main Mistral straight, longest straight in the game. So lots of time to be found there. And then coming down into signs is really easy to get wrong. And if you set up the car right, it kind of just glides through there. We'll be seeing from the Porsches tonight of Andy and potentially Bruno, them hitting some really high mid apex speed. And this is where you kind of see a divergence in a lot of the cars and setups. On the exit there is really easy to go wrong. You'll see the three we were struggling to describe exactly what they are, just little things that kind of jut out of the ground that mark the track limits. Really easy to go wrong there. Got the double apex right-hander, very tricky corner, absolutely chews the left side of the car's tyres. And it's all about line in that corner. Same with the next corner, which is easy to invalidate. We're talking about the left-hander here on the exit. And then you have the smooth right-hander, which is not really a corner in the dry, going into that left-hander, which is really all about setting yourself up for that final right-hander, which finishes off the lap, which is also quite easy to get an invalidation on the exit.
Awesome. Well, I think that's a pretty comprehensive little driver's eye perspective. So as we can see, its country is in France. Paul Ricard, I think he was a drinks magnate from my research. 5.77 kilometers. I think it's 13 turns instead of 15. That might have been wrong. April 19th, 1970 was the first race as well there. But France has quite a deep history of motor racing as well. Track that's been predominantly used for testing for many, many years. I think it was the Toyota test track. I believe Bernie Eccleston owns the track now, actually. And it can offer up to 167 different track variations. So from less than a kilometre to almost 6 kilometres. Tonight, practice is done. Qualifying has begun. 15 minutes. Race is 60 minutes. It's the sprint format. Mandatory pit stop, yes. Refueling allowed, but there's no mandatory refueling. No fixed refueling time. Mandatory tyre change, yes. So it's a 60-minute sprint race. Hence, 60-minute sprint race rules generally apply. So it's a straight 60-minute fight tonight.
Have got some car noises, and we will get going for the start of qualifying. Cars are headed out on track, and they're on their way around.
I like that. We've got some car noises. I'm digging it. Just that we have on display. That is one of the Hondas. I believe that's Ali Karudin. So he's just out there now, making his way out. Plenty of cars on the circuit as well. So it's going to be interesting qualifying. It was extremely tight at the top of the timesheets as well for qualifying. So for free practice, sorry. So it's going to be very interesting to see this. It was extremely tight. I think 3/1000ths of a second separated P2 and P3, I believe. It was that man, Andy O'Hara. He was up the top, though, so you'd have to expect to probably see him up there as well. But I reckon this man on screen here, Ali Karudin, is probably going to give him a bit of a crack tonight. So we'll see how he goes as he's just making his way through the final turn. He's going to line it up and he's going to pull the trigger on the first time lap for this evening as we go. Look at the split screen. This is, by the way, everyone, this is all Joe's doing. He's the man who does all the hard work in the background. He's the one who's pedaling like a duck underwater to bring you these stunning pictures. So big thanks to Joe.
It's a bit warm here tonight too, so I'm definitely going to get a workout.
Summer's already started in Queensland. So walk us through this lap, Mitchell. Give us a bit of a breakdown.
Yeah, sure. So we've got Ali, a very competent Honda driver here. He's going to be really focusing on the exit, as I was describing before. One of the longest straights, the longest straight, sorry. So you're trying to move yourself over to the right here to open this up as much as possible, minimize the scrubbing. If you're lucky, maybe you have a teammate that you've worked with that's going to give you a tow. It's worth about 2 to 3 tenths very easily. And so here you kind of just have a relax, have a drink, I don't know, fiddle around with your brake foot. It's not going to be doing much for a little while. And then here, into this next corner, you're going to be moving over to the left to open it up as much as possible. I'll be interested to see what his apex speed is going to be. Can't quite see that, but it looks like he's taking that corner pretty well. Taking it right out to the exit there, setting the car up for this next corner, just really balancing the front and the rear. He's tucking on a bit of lock there to get it rotated. Hitting that apex nicely on the gas, and he's done that quite well. Opening up this next corner, shooting it in towards the apex, maximising the rotation. Taking a late apex on the throttle, he's done that quite well also. And then a nice little breather that you have for this next corner. Just having a look at how he's doing it. I would say that he's probably missed the apex a little bit there, but looks like he's opened it up nicely for this right-hander, which he's done quite cleanly. And overall, I'd say that was a pretty decent lap from Ali.
Well, it comes in at a 1:54.180, currently the fastest time, but plenty more times to filter in, and we're going to see a whole heap of them make their way as plenty of cars crossing the start-finish line now. But it's Paul Russell in there, Marcus Van Vliet, James Mack as well, have all crossed the line. So the 53.9 belonging to Bruno Gallo is the first one to top the timesheets there. Where is Andy O'Hara out there? Because we expect him to be right in contention for this one. He's just heading up the Mistral Straight, so keep an eye on him. In the meantime, though, we've got our pole sitter here, Bruno Gallo for Gamesman Racing Team. We're already almost 5 minutes into this 15-minute qualifying, setting the grid for the 60 minutes of Paul Ricard, which I think we're in for a good one. Usually produces pretty decent racing around here. 33 cars in the field as well, so a decent field to choose from. And currently Bruno Gallo, he's P3 in the championship right now, so in contention. He'll be battling it out with Andy O'Hara, who, let's see where Andy O'Hara is.
O'Hara is actually sitting in the pits at the moment. He's just pulled over at the end of the Mistral Straight, so
yeah, right.
He catch the back end of what happened to him, actually.
Yep. Okay. All right, so we've got plenty of cars out there. I think Adrian Rice has just teleported back, but Ali Karudin, he's currently setting purple sectors right now. So 1:53.935 is the fastest time by Bruno Gallo, the man on the screen. But Ali Karudin is just about to cross the line now, and he goes to the top of the time. So 53.917 from Ali Karudin. That's just slightly edging out Bruno Gallo for pole position right now with 9 minutes left on the clock. Another contender right now is Ryan Duong. He's currently sitting P4. Let's see if he can move up into P1. He doesn't. He goes into P3 though, so he does move up one spot. As Bruno Gallo, yeah, 53.9. Are these times what you'd expect to see around here, Mitchell?
Absolutely. We've got some really quality drivers here. I think we will see a few tenths being shaved off towards the end of it. I'm going to peg a 53.4 as the fastest time. I'm really interested to see what Andy can do full tilt. To answer your question, he actually had a spin at 9 on his outlap or his banker. That's
right. Okay.
So he's got it set up very edgy. I reckon if he can put it all together, he will be in the contention for a mid 53.
Alright, well I think someone else who's going to be in contention is Ryan Duong. He's setting purple sector times right now. He's currently sitting in P4 with a 1:53.917, so an identical time to Ali Karudin right now. So not too sure how that works if it ends up being a tie, but getting a nice little toe. That's from one of the might be Paul Russell just in front of him as he's right. It's a big snap of oversteer there through side, so probably got to put an end to the purple appearing on his time. Looks like Bruno Gallo and Ali Karudin both on fast time right now as well.
we've got Ando Latanzio as the leader of Silver Class, and Bennington Wilson not far behind him. We've got James Mack leading the AM Class.
Yeah, good to have the AM drivers back as well. So just a little bit light on for numbers, and it wasn't really fair to those guys to be racing in such small numbers. So welcome back to the AM drivers. Good to have them back in the main server. Just having a look at some other times. Bruno Gallo though leading the way. As we see Nathan Wilson on screen. So Bruno Gallo, Ali Karuden, Ryan Duong, Paul Russell and Mitch Hobbs just hops up there into P5. Andrew Lawrenson 6th, Matt Frost 7th, Dennis Resnikov in 8th, James Pierre-Reid 9th and Art Vanderleer. That's our top 10 right now. We're looking at this man on screen. This is Nathan Wilson. So he is currently sitting in... Where are you, Nathan Wilson? He's also known as his console name, Rooz, so it's a familiar name to me anyway. He does like the Aston Martin. I've only ever seen him drive the Aston Martin. He's an ex-Gamesman Racing Team member, so I think he might have been your teammate, Joe, back a few seasons ago on console.
He was.
So good to see him jumping into PC and into the Pro Series. So welcome to him. And then the other one is Anton Vinogradov. I won't try it any more than that. He's joined the series as well in Pro. So welcome to Anton and welcome to Richard as well. Interesting to see how they go and track their progress. But right now, less than 5 minutes to go. Bruno Gallo leads the way. 1:53.9. A 1:53.917 is the identical time to Ryan Duong in P2 and P3. Andy O'Hara, he has put his name up there. He's currently sitting P4 with a 1:54.215. And then you got Paul Russell. Nice work from him up there in P5. I think his sister, Heather Russell, was in the chat earlier as we've got a bit of split screen action going on the right hand side is Ali Karuden in P2, and our current pole sitter on the left hand side is Bruno Gallo, and a nice little snapshot of lap times between those two right now, and you can see the purple signifying Bruno Gallo is indeed the man with the fastest time next to his name. Are we still thinking a 1:53.4, 1:53.5 there, Mitchell, considering there's only 3.5 minutes left?
I am going to have to stick with my gut and hope. I'm going to be embarrassed a little bit here, predicting wrong. What do you guys think? What do you reckon is going to be the time?
I am going to go with... I don't like doing predictions because... But anyway... 53.7. We'll see. Track is at optimum. So air temperature is 23 degrees. Track temperature is 26. There's no wind. Ryan Duong is purple right now. So is Bruno Gallo and Ali Karuden. So we've got the cameras on the right people. These are the guys that we want to be following. And there is not much between the top 10. They're covered by just over half a second right now, so nice and competitive as Karuden doesn't improve on his best time. He still sits equal P2, a 53.917 between him and Ryan Duong. Bruno might be on a fast lap right now. He's got some purple next to his name. He's about to hit the line. A 53.9 is his best. There we go, a 53.8. It's edging down. Not too sure if we'll get to the fives, but we've got just over 2 minutes to see. There's Ryan Duong. He's got some purple next to his name as well. So we'll see if he can split the difference between him and Ali Karuden. And then also Andy O'Hara is out there. All cars are out on track except about 5 of them. Desman, Carlos Dominiak, Herb Atron, James Mack, and Paul Russell. The rest of the cars out on circuit. So it's pretty busy out there. What's traffic like around here, Mitchell?
It's a huge track, so I mean, obviously, like any track, you can have its moments where there's a lot of congestion, but in general, there's a lot of space to hold a lot of cars. Yeah, I've got 33 tonight, which is a good number. Quite a few people having to go tonight, which is awesome. But I do think it shouldn't be too bad, traffic-wise.
Well, it's almost 6 kilometres long as well. So as you pointed out, there is a lot of space out there. As Ryan DeLong just exploring every inch of it right now. He's got purple sectors next to his name. He's coming right towards the end of his lap now. We'll see if he can remain with that colour purple next to his name. 53.917 is his best time. He's chasing a 53.805. And that's Bruno Gallo. Less than 1 minute remaining in this qualifying session, so these drivers are going to have... He goes top of the times at 53.7, Mitchell. So much, much closer to what you were talking about earlier, your prediction around the 53.6s. So times starting to come down. We'll see if he goes again. He's a bit raggedy through, I think that might have been 2 and 3. So maybe not. Bruno Gallo, though, can he respond? Currently 53.805. We've got less than 15 seconds remaining. So this will definitely be his last lap right now. We'll monitor his progress on this lap. Most other cars are in the pits. Andrew Lawrenson is out there. But Ali Karudin, Andy O'Hara, Anton Vinogradov, Paul Russell, they're all in the pits. So they're all happy with their positions on the starting grid right now. As we watch Bruno Gallo make his way up the 1.8 kilometre Mistral Straight. What do you normally do along here, Mitchell? You just sort of have a bit of a breather, chill out for a bit?
Relax my feet a little bit, maybe. Have a drink.
Nice.
I don't know. Start daydreaming about something else.
Hey, that would be... You'd be able to do that on a 1.8 kilometre straight. Bruno Gallo... had a little...
Richie.
Yeah, had a little wobble through there. We'll see if that has cost him any time. I don't see any red next to his name right now. The session has expired, so it's the last remaining cars and a bit of drifting. I don't think that's going to be the fastest way around for Bruno Gallo. I see there's a little bit of red next to his name now. See if he can make up for that. I don't think he's going to. It's looking like we could see Ryan Duong sit on pole position. Bruno Gallo's got one more corner to make it up. I saw a flash of purple. And he doesn't. So 154.2, his best was a 53.8. So congratulations, Ryan Duong is our pole position sitter, a 153.717. Congratulations, Bruno Gallo. He was P2, Ali Karudin 3rd, 4th, Andy O'Hara 5th, Anton Vinogradov, and then Lawrence and Frost, Russell Hobbs, Pierre Reid. That is our top 10 for this round. Round number 4, I'm pretty sure, round 4 or 5. Paul Ricard. That's all we need to know. What did you think, Mitchell? What did you think of the session?
Firstly, good prediction there. Pretty much spot on. It kind of looked like we saw just a lot of drivers struggling, really. You could see everyone was really pushing their absolute hardest. We saw Ryan make a few mistakes, Bruno and Andy in P4.
Yeah.
What's his qualifying streak been like so far this season?
It has been extremely solid. I think it's been on the front row of the grid the first 4 races, I believe.
No, it hasn't actually. No, it was first round. I think he qualified 5th because he had to make passes to get to the lead, and then this round, I think the 2 middle rounds, he so round 2 and 3, I think he qualified on the front row.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say something like, yep.
Yeah, he has done it from further back. And quick note to Nathan Wilson, the lead driver in Silver Class, and also to Heath Scotland, the leader in the and class.
So great work from Nathan Wilson. He is a relative newcomer to PC. So awesome work. Great to see him right up there in the mix of the main field, P15, but ahead of the silver. So really great effort. Pretty tight there. Nando Latenzio, Cesana, and Fakeney in there as well as Adrian Rice, who I do believe is our current championship leader for the silver class. And yeah, looking good. So are we going to a break, Joe, or are we gonna stick here?
I think we will go for a short break. Yes.
Cool.
Not to discredit any of the drives, don't get me wrong. I'm just...
All right, welcome back, everyone. The drivers are now heading off on their warm-up lap, and we are going to get set for 60 minutes of Paul Ricard. Looking forward to this one. Ryan DeLong has put it on pole position. Bruno Gallo just tucked in behind him in the Porsche. Now, you're saying in the break there, Mitchell, you're quite impressed with the Porsche around here.
Yeah, it's a super tricky car to get pace out of, especially signs the first corner of sector 3, the corner after the straight. The balance there is ridiculously on the nose, like the rear is just dancing, and as you saw, O'Hara did make a mistake there, which is pretty uncharacteristic of him, and I think that's just a testament to how difficult this car is going to be to drive. So pretty interested to see how these guys will go. Like you can see, you've got 3 Porsches in the top 5. I'm pretty interested to see how they will go in the race, whether there comes issues with the tyres, just general drivability. It'd be interesting to see.
Now, you mentioned something that you said on the nose. So for perhaps viewers that might not know what you might be talking about there, it's not that it smells. What can you explain what on the nose means?
It stinks a lot. So it just means that when you turn the wheels turn into a corner, the front will do exactly as you anticipate, but the rear might not be able to keep up. So what that means is that you'll probably bin like the rear to struggle to keep up with the fronts to get them over here. You'll do a drift.
So is that due to the rear engine position of the Porsche and is it that characteristic?
Yeah, so I think there's a few ways set up to get there. I think that definitely plays a role. To my knowledge, the Porsche has a pretty weak rear diffuser, but a really strong rear wing. So what a lot of people do is up the brake, so the front of the car will be really low, the rear of the car will be really high, and also what they'll do is increase the front bump stop range. So under brakes, the car squats quite a lot at the front, which means it increases the rate as you brake. So basically what you have is a car doing 270 and the rear has just about no grip, so you'll turn in the rear will just have nothing there. There'll be a lot of downforces, but not much on the rear.
Well, I'm absolutely loving the insight there. I hope our viewers are as well. And if you are, please leave a like. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. I think we're at 361 subscribers for the channel at the moment, which I think is a phenomenal effort. So we're on our way to 400. There's plenty of action on here as well. There's PC action, there's console action too. So plenty of entertainment for those breaks at work or on car trips or public transport. Whatever you do, we've got plenty of stuff for you. So leave us a like, leave us a subscribe. Plenty of stuff coming your way. And as you can see, the production values are top notch as well. So yeah, do what you can. But in the meantime, we are almost about to get this started. Ryan Duong and Bruno Gallo sitting at the front there. Ali Karudin, Andy O'Hara, they're third and fourth. Anton Vinogradov in fifth. Lawrenson, Frost, Russell, Hobbs, James Pierre-Reed. They're going to come around the final corner. When we hear a little announcement, we're going to get the 60 minutes of Paul Ricard underway as they form up side by side. And there it is. So lights go green. 60 minutes starts right now. It looked like Gallo got a pretty good start there. They're going to go side by side into the left hand. They're going to go 3 wide, in fact. Great start from these guys. Bruno Gallo looks like he's able to edge forward. Andy O'Hara moves himself up into P3 already. Karudin in fourth. Russell moves up a spot. Andy O'Hara drops back into P4 now. It looks like everyone... oh no, we've got a massive incident. I'm looking at the wrong screen. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong screen there. There was massive incident there at turn 1. We'll see if we can get a replay of that. Plenty of cars involved by the looks of things. Just looking down at the rear of the field, Adrian Rice seems to have come pretty worse off there. He's all the way down at the back right now. See marks against Matt Frost, Mark Van Vierle, Strelnikov, Bateman, Latanzio. So they're all cars with a little orange mark indicating some form of contact. So they might have been the ones involved. But in the meantime, we're blasting up the 1.8 kilometre straight right now as one of the little pylons goes flying. It's Bruno Gallo leading from Duong, Ali Karudin, Andy O'Hara, Russell, Lawrenson, Vinogradov, James Pierre-Reed, Mitch Hobbs. Matt Frost has moved himself into P10. So a cracking start. We'll see if we can queue up that replay. I'm sure Joe is working feverishly in the background there to bring us that vision. But in the meantime, we're watching the leaders. They're going to come around towards the end of the first lap. I think Phil Corathios might have had a little bit of contact there at the back. No, he's all good. Oh no, Nathan Wilson. Oh, he's all the way back. So he's had some sort of incident on the first lap. And he's fallen from P15 all the way down to P33. So after such a good qualifying result, he qualified pole for the silver class. He finds himself down in P33 right now. As we're watching the leaders, this is P1, 2, 3, and 4, all coming through the first sector. But what an eventful lap there on the first one, Mitchell.
That was tight between Bruno and Duong at the end of the straight there. This is probably a story that we're going to see playing out for the rest of the race. Is the Porsches being really quick everywhere besides the straight. it'll be difficult for Bruno to keep Geelong at bay. He's actually being challenged a bit by Ricard, who's in the Honda, which is very, very fast for down the straight.
Here we go.
They're alongside,
Yeah, here we go. So Carudin just edging past for Ignition Control Racing. His team captain Andy O'Hara. He's heading up in the Porsche. He's trying to get a nice little tow as well. So Carudin might end up losing 2 spots on this one trip up the Mistral Straight. And he doesn't. He's able to fend him off for the time being. Mitch Hobbs looks like he managed to get past James Pierre-Reid on that one as well. And Art Vanderlei might have done a little double overtake there on Strzelnikov and Van Vliet, as I believe they're having a couple of little issues on their way through turn 8 with signs, but all's well ends well. But right now it's Bruno Gallo leading the way from Carudin, who's just recently taken P2 away from Ryan Duong. Andy O'Hara, Paul Russell, that's the top 5 right now. We're looking currently on screen Ryan Duong, but yeah, very, very eventful start here at Paul Ricard. It was action aplenty as we're having a look here. Anton
Replay race start on the left-hand side there, and that is Buzninski being turned around off the start then.
Yeah, I was laughing at the name. Oh, that was an ICR car getting crossed up. Oh, they like synchronised spinning there. Oh, a couple of cars just nowhere to go, and dear.
That's just a disaster. Yeah. Like, doesn't necessarily look anyone's at the fault there, but you have a car in the middle of the track with all these people behind you.
There would have been a few people. We've got a mighty fight coming through there and just seeing a car strewn across the track there. So, unfortunate part of racing. Yeah, it doesn't look like there was anyone majorly at fault. Or if there is any issues, I'm sure the trusted driver panel will address them during the week. But in the meantime, Art Vanderlei in the Honda. He's chasing down Matt Frost from BHR in the Lamborghini. This is for P10 and 11. Vanderlei just looking like he's getting the slight edge over the Ferrari. He's going to have the inside line through there, but to no avail. Matt Frost, a strong competitor. He's not an easy man to get past Matt Frost. So Art Vanderlei definitely going to have his work cut out for him right now. The gap out in front, Carudin is trailing Gallo by about 7/10 of a second right now, just fluctuating a little bit. Still pretty tight everywhere though, so no gaps stretching out right now. As I think we've got a replay here on the left screen.
Oh, that's Wilson. That's what happened to Wilson at the back there.
Not too sure what happened to him there, but these pictures keeping you fully up to date with what's happening live and in the past as well. So awesome work from Joe, working hard in the background as we're watching Art Vanderlei. He's working hard as well. He's got Matt Frost ahead of him. Oh, Matt Frost just almost lost it. Just the curbs unsettled the back end. Almost turned around, and that was enough for Art Vanderlei to just waltz through and take that position from him. As we're looking at Kroetios and Fakey as well, down in 14th and 15th. Have a look at this for a nice little gaggle of cars. There's fireworks written all over this. They're going to make their way through it's pretty much flat through that left hand. You just clobber the curb and then put the right foot flat to the floor and unwind it for 1.8 kilometres. As Mitchell was saying, have a bit of a daydream, a bit of a drink. Maybe check that the brake pedal works all right. Looks like Fakey putting the move on. No, it's Kroetios, in fact. Both of them, they're getting past Fakey, so Strelnikov in there as well. Oh, that, I think, was that BMW came very, very close to making a little bit of contact. That's Kroetios in there as well, in the BMW. Yeah, awesome work. This is battling it out for Silver Class as well. Silver Class leader is Nando Latenta, and there's action everywhere on the left-hand side. not too sure if that's live action or a replay.
No, that is live. It is live.
Live action, yep. So that's that scrap back there with James Mack as well. Mark Hurley in there. Harley Scotland. This race has got a little bit of everything. We haven't even gone 10 minutes yet, boys.
It's like we'll be going up for half an hour.
Andy O'Hara with the fastest lap there as well in P4. So he's got the Porsche humming right now. He's chasing down Ryan Duong as we're having a look here. This is for 5th and 6th. That's Lawrenson just putting the move on Paul Russell. So Heather Russell will be quite unhappy about that in the chat. She's watching her brother just lose a spot. So he's got plenty of time though to make that up. But just a little recap. It's Bruno Gallo, Carudin, Duong, O'Hara, Lawrenson, Russell, Vinogradov, Hobbs, Pierre Reid and Vanderlei. That's your top 10 right now. We've not even been going for 10 minutes, but we've had about 30 minutes of action already. And this has been great stuff from the get-go.
There's so many battles in this race, it's hard to know which bit to look at. So we're going to try and bring you as much as we can.
Yeah, trying to get all of it. We've got split screen action going on, and that's Paul Russell who's just running a little bit wide there through turn 8. On the left-hand side of the screen, I think that's James Mack right now, or is it Desman and Stephen Haycock? I'm not too sure. We'll get back to that very shortly. But in the meantime, we're watching Paul Russell, and he's battling it out with Denis Strelnikov. So these two having a battle right now for 14th and 15th. That's at 6th.
Contact here between these two is Strelnikov and Grazios battling back in 14th and 15th.
That BMW belonging to Croatia, so I'm not too sure he's particularly happy with that right now. It just looks like it's... Yeah, I don't think he's 100% settled with that. So he's on the right-hand side, on the left-hand side, sorry, and then Paul Russell on the right-hand side. Mitchell, what have you seen? What do you know?
I feel like I've seen everything in these 10 minutes. The battle at the front looks like it's holding steady. I haven't seen any big moves, but yeah, Bruno Gallo doing a great job to hold off the likes of Carudin, Duong, O'Hara. Looks like they're all kind of settling in a little bit. Hoping that we can see some action up the front there. I've seen a lot of battles, and yeah, just really exciting stuff, I must say.
Yep, it certainly has been exciting. We've got action at the front, just on the right-hand side. We're looking from the rear of the Gamesman Racing Team Porsche belonging to Bruno Gallo, who's coming under threat right now from Ali Carudin. And Ali, he snuck ahead momentarily. Bruno Gallo had a little bit of a wobble into turn 8. This is Ryan Duong there as well, challenging. They make a little bit of contact, but nothing too bad there. So both drivers able to continue on. No dramas there. Good driving from both of them. Andy O'Hara will just be licking his lips right now, rubbing his hands together, thinking, all right, boys, you fight it out. And I'm going to, I'll just sneak up here and take a couple of positions from you. But Bruno just able to momentarily open up that gap. But Andy O'Hara all over the back of Ryan Duong now. So this is for first, second, third and fourth. To the top 4 drivers on the track right now. We've gone just a tick over 11 and a half minutes in it. And this is what separates the top 4 on the circuit right now. Last lap's around to 54.997 to Bruno Gallo, 55.160, identical time. Ali Carudin and Ryan Duong, so nothing can really separate those guys tonight. Then a 55 flat from Andy O'Hara, so he's definitely got some pace, but the fastest out of all of them was the man in the fresh air. That's Bruno Gallo doing it for GRT. Can he take his first win for the evening? Still a long way to go, but he's looking really strong right now.
We've got a 0.3 gap, is it, between Gallo and Carudin at the start of the straight? Is that correct?
Yeah, I believe so. Yep.
So let's look at how much that closes up in the slipstream and with a faster car in a straight line. Bruno again going defensive. will we see the overlap that we saw last time from Kai Rudin, or will it be the same narrative again? They're ahead.
Contact! Oh no, sorry. Just a little bit of contact on the right rear panel there, and Bruno Gallo almost turned it around. I don't think he went into the wall. The lights are flashing. He's unhappy about something. Andy O'Hara just sneaks through there as well. And then he's got Lawrenson tucked in behind him now. So he's got coming under attack from his teammate almost immediately. Lights were continuing to flash, so I'm not too sure if that was a signal or just a sign of his displeasure. And it looks like Karudin is going to redress that. There was a lot of redressing that was done last week, last round as well. And yeah, it looks like he's redressed that with Gallo. Lawrence has sneaked through. Paul Russell's going to try and get a piece of this as well. Right now, Duong, O'Hara, have a look at this. Karudin, he's having a look at Lawrenson right now, I do believe. And Russell sneaks through there as well. And then Mitch Hobbs, he's worked himself into the fray in the Aston Martin too. So more action. It's absolutely non-stop around here as we approach quarter race distance. But good driving from Karudin and Gallo to sort that out on the track.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get a moment to breathe there as we kind of get into the lull of the race start and the pits happening. But no, not at all.
It's been flat out. It's yeah, it is a track that is often maligned as being a bit of a boring track, but usually the racing around here goes pretty well. So as we look at this, is Gallo right now, and he's looking to put it past Andy O'Hara, his fellow Porsche driver. It looks like he's able to get that done. So as you pointed out earlier, Mitchell, the tow, how much did you say it was worth roughly in time around here?
Roughly 2 to 3 tenths on that back straight. And was that O'Hara or was that Lawrenson?
That was Lawrenson on Gallo then.
Sorry, my mistake. Plenty of action in the chat. Here we go. It's Paulie's in there. ISPIP. Oh, hey, I'm flying to this place. That's cool.
That's Pip, who's going to the Motorsport Games.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So congratulations, Pip. All the best
yeah.
in that, yeah, we'll be cheering you on.
That's awesome. Chris Riggs, I'm here fanboying from Wilson. Got to do something to entertain myself. Been sitting in the back of a Ford Ranger for 14 hours. Oh dear. All right. Well, hopefully, if you're not entertained at this, I don't know what you're not entertained at. Heather Russell in there cheering on her brother. Oh, I think Sandeezy's in there as well. That's a name I've been seeing for a little while. Welcome to One and All. I hope you're all enjoying it. Left-hand side of the screen, I believe that is Bruno Gallo. Looking at the rear of him, he has. I'm sure that's Bruno Gallo.
That's Lawrenson.
Lawrenson. See, I'm getting mixed up with these liveries. They're very, very close to one another. They look very, very similar. So I do apologise for that.
They are racing for the same team.
Yeah. Paul Russell will want to be entering himself into that chat too. Just in terms of times, the fastest of the top 5 was Andy O'Hara, a 1:54.132. In fact, it was the fastest lap of the race. So Andy just starting to come into his own right now.
Just having a replay, I had a bit of contact between Kraithios and Marcus Van. Yes, Marcus is turned.
Yeah.
A bit more than a bit. That was quite a bit of contact.
It was a bit, yes. I was actually counting the number of times an accident's been registered in ACC TV for tonight, and it's up to 26 at the moment, and we've only gone 15 minutes into the race. There's been plenty of action.
Alright, well, that doesn't tell you the story of the race. I don't know what does. But right now, sitting in front, it's Ryan Duong leading from Andy O'Hara, Lawrence and Gallo and Russell. That's your top 5. We're almost at third race distance. Should start to see, what are we thinking? Pit stops as Andy O'Hara goes faster again, a 1:54.1. He's flying at the moment. What are we thinking about pit stops? How much longer do you think before we see a pit stop?
I reckon, aside from damage, we'll probably be seeing the 30-minute mark, there or thereabouts. Yeah, as you go on, the tyres really do start to feel it at this track. So I don't think you gain too much by pitting earlier or later, besides maybe an undercut or an overcut. So I'd be expecting around about the 30-minute mark for just about everyone tonight.
Keep our eyes peeled. Just a bit of an idea in terms of the AM drivers. James Mack currently leading the class this evening, so welcome back to the AM drivers. He's leading from Mitch Hurley, Herb Atron and Heath Scotland down there in their 23rd, 27th, 29th and 33rd overall right now across the field. And I believe the highest silver driver is Nando Latenzio. He is there overall. He's in P14, but he's leading Croathios, Fakeney, Cesana and Haycock. They're all in order there. So 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th and 18th are the top 5 of the silver drivers as well. So nice battles brewing between all of them as we are watching Ali Karud and Paul Russell there on the left-hand side of the screen. And on the right-hand side of the screen, that's Andy O'Hara. He's chasing down Ryan Durong for P1 right now. So they head over to the start-finish line. The cars on the left-hand side about to do the very same. So the times we're looking at here, 54.2s for Durong and O'Hara. 54.9 for Lawrenson. So 54s, low to mid 54s tend to be timed right now. It's top 3, and then the fourth columns there in there mid to high 55. So gives you a bit of an idea of the pace. It's been a good one.
Can I confirm that the strategy is just tyres entry?
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll probably be seeing similar times for the whole race. There will be a drop off towards the end, just the tyres are such a huge factor here. But yeah, in general, this is 30 roughly the times we should be seeing.
Forward to them as we go along. Plenty of action happening up the front straight. The leaders there just coming up to a little bit of lap traffic, causing drivers to take some different lines through there. So that's the McLaren just getting out of the way there, doing their absolute best. Couldn't quite pick out who that was. I don't know if that was James Mack actually. So he was just doing his best to get out of the way of those guys. Always an intimidating scenario. I don't think you or Joe would know too much about that, Mitch. I would, that's for sure. Been in that situation quite a few times. So James Mack was doing his best, and we've got a pit stop. I think we do. Ali Karudin, he's in the pits. So first driver to stop with 38 minutes remaining is Ali Karudin. He was pitting from about P7. So
I think that is a good move from him because he'll get himself out of the battle that he was in, and potentially will be able to just put down some clean laps and kind of get the undercut of Russell and Bruno and David.
Well, like you talked about earlier in qualifying, it's a big circuit as well. There's plenty of space out there, but early on in the race it can be a bit congested. As we're watching Van Vliet right now, he's all over the back of, this is Stephen Haycock. He's driving in the BMW right now. Karun still in the pits. He's about to make his way out very shortly. We'll keep an eye on the times. And then on the left hand side there, that's Marcus Van Vliet. The camera view and then the onboard as well as they head up the straight. BMW versus Lamborghini, relatively evenly matched terms of horsepower between these two. Let's see if Orlando though can tuck into that craft of the BMW.
Doesn't really look like it's very much, to be honest. Pretty evenly matched line. Up and speed. Cool camera angle, I must say, on the splitter that we're looking at here.
Yeah, it is cool. I like the onboards as well.
Yeah, you can see the drivers wrestling with the car. As you see, Vanderlei having a bit of a wrestle there. Extended down the inside, gets into the apex first, and we can't see where Cryo did. Sorry, Haycock. But he's done it. Played there.
Nice work from Van Vliet. So he moves up into P17. Takes one spot away there from Stephen Haycock. Back to the front of the pack though now. This is Andy O'Hara. He's chasing down Ryan Duong. So they're about to head up the back straight. So last lap around, Ryan Duong did a 55 flat. Andy O'Hara did a 54.840. So just under a couple of tenths quicker. And let's see if he can grab a couple of more tenths as well as he tucks into the toe of the Ferrari. It's a long way up. It's 1.8 kilometers to be exact. It's a long way.
Yeah, you can see the struggles of the Porsche's top end there. Not really making any inroads.
I was going to say the Porsche not exactly knowing its horsepower.
No. I'm getting good exits, it looks like. He's kind of just using his racing line, just getting clean, good exits. And I think that's what's giving him the edge over Andy, who we are getting faster lap, but not able to make a move just because of Duong's exits.
So we're on board now with O'Hara. Check out the time as well as they come through one more time. 35 minutes left in this one, so approaching the halfway mark. And that time around a 54.625 to Duong, a 54.817 to O'Hara. So pace is certainly hot at the front, and Duong's able to respond to O'Hara, who was a couple of tenths faster on the previous lap. So he's able to respond in the Ferrari and just keep that gap as it is. Still under a second though. Might have made a little mistake through there, I'm not too sure, but
I think he did, just a little one.
yeah, nothing too much, so he's going to do it all over again.
We're at 0.7 at the start of the straight, and I reckon he's not in the stream, so you'll probably even see that go up. And it kind of looks like it is tinkering between the 0.7 and the 0.8.
That's about that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right now. It's gone down a bit. What is it? 4. So a little bit of ground right towards the end. Flying out wide there. Such an exciting corner. Turn 8.
Duong does seem to be doing it consistently faster, just that particular corner, than Andy. As we see the gap at 1 second now, but it is fluctuating a bit on my screen at least. I'm not sure exactly how accurate that is.
Well, we're almost at the halfway mark, so we might just do a little bit of an update in terms of positions gained throughout. It's probably as good a time to do it as any, but Ryan Duong started in P1, and that's where he has remained. Andy O'Hara's moved up a couple of spots. Andrew Lawrenson up 3, Paul Russell up 4, Art Vanderlei, he's made up 6. Look at Phil Kraithios, he's up 10 spots. Des Mann, he's up 15. Dominiac's up 9, Herb Atron's up 7. No massive losers at the get-go, like Matt Frost, he's dropped 6. Carruthers, he's down 22, but he's just had his spot. Strelnikov, he's down 15. And even Nathan Wilson, after he had that early moment earlier on in the race, he's only dropped 7 spots, so he's in P22 right now. So still not a bad result from him, as we've got more drivers making their pit stops. Just having a look in terms of total time. So it was 36 seconds stationary for Karuden, so it was a total of about 79, 80.1, so just over a minute 20 total time in the pits for Karuden. So we can refer to that as a bit of a benchmark. Quite a few cars making their pit stops. Frost, Bateman and Susanna are all in there right now. Around about 78. So 80 seconds seems to be probably about par right now. 78 to 80 seconds seems about par for the stops right now. But the race has settled down a little bit. It was action-packed in the beginning, and I reckon this is just the calm before the storm. I think we'll probably see it kick off again very, very shortly.
Take your breather now while you can.
Yeah.
Wrap in.
But yeah, Duong leading from O'Hara, Lawrenson, Russell, Gallo. That's your top 5. Then Hobbs, Vanderlei, Pierre Reid, Latanzio, and Vinogradov.
Who's in the pit now?
In the pit now as well, yeah. Here we go, O'Hara right behind Duong now. Last lap around. 54.4 to Duong and 54.7 to O'Hara, but that certainly doesn't look like that's representative of what we're seeing on the track right now. So heading up the Mistral Straight one more time. They've got a Lamborghini just up ahead of them.
I wonder if that will come into play.
I think they were trying to take advantage of it, and can't see who that driver was. There's 111, so that was that was Chris Hildebrand. He did a very, very good job of just getting out of the way there. So nice work from him, good sensible driving.
Kai Rooz has been matching those lap times from the front of the field as well since he's had his pit stop. So he's definitely shown some good pace. It's going to be interesting to see where he comes out after these guys pit.
54.7 was his last lap around. 54.752. That was the 752 was to Andy O'Hara, and it was the 725 to Karuden. So he's on it. As Duong, he pits, so the race leader decides to make his stop with less than half the race still to go.
Pit lane lining up now at the halfway mark. We are seeing a bit of pit straight variance, which makes sense. If you're behind someone, you kind of want to just, you haven't got much to lose. You're already behind the position. So we see Lawrenson and O'Hara and Hobbs staying out.
Yep. Sorry to interrupt. O'Hara just ran deep under brakes into turn 4, I believe it was. So just pushing extremely hard. Is that enough to give Duong just that little advantage? We've seen Andy O'Hara be so good on these in and out laps as well, putting pressure on the pit stops. So keep an eye on Duong, who's still stationary. He's been stationary for, total pit time right now is broaching 1 minute.
Is that the same corner we saw O'Hara make the mistake in last time, that right-hander? It seems as though that's a tricky spot for him in the Porsche.
Yeah, I saw him with a couple of little moments in free practice, nothing in qualifying. So Duong right now, he's off. So he had a pit stop of 65.2 seconds. So that's pretty quick. That's a lot quicker than Karuden. Maybe Karuden had a little bit of damage to repair there as well.
The pit exit between Gallo and Russell was pretty close.
Look at this. Racing out of the pit lane. doesn't get much closer than that between Gallo and Russell. So where have they come out here? Just scrolling through as O'Hara continues as well. That last lap he did was a 55.345. So to give an idea, Caruden did a 154.57. So Andy just that little mistake cost him a bit of time as Gallo and Russell going side by side. We've already seen Gallo have a little moment here already.
That is an epic overtake by Russell around the outside of Gallo. Excellent racecraft from them both. It's not done yet. Gallo's still holding it on the inside. When he comes to the outside for this next corner, can he return the favour and go around the outside like Russell? He goes in deep, Russell that is. Gets to the apex first, and it looks like he's going to hold on for now. We can see that Caruden looming in the background. There it is.
I believe it is, yeah.
Perhaps his strategy has paid off, or was this about the gap that we saw before the pit stops initiated?
It was pretty close before the pit stops.
So Caruden had that incident with Gallo, and then they both lost out. And Caruden actually did go backwards further. So he has made ground back up.
Ooh, I think that's Hobbs coming out of the pits there.
Such a dodgy pit exit of this track. There could be some huge incidents.
I believe the consensus is that the car exiting does have right of way. Is entitled to space on the track.
Yeah, it's a bit of awareness for the people that are on track to move off that right hand side as a car exiting pit lane. But if you're in a battle with another car and you're not necessarily paying attention to the track map or the timing screen, it's can be pretty brutal.
So O'Hara continues to go around as well, so he's yet to make his stop. That last lap he did a 154.605.
That's a pretty decent lap. Deeper into the stint, which is almost what he was doing at the start. So not really losing too much by staying out later, and it will probably actually gain him quite a bit as the others will be on worn tyres and he'll be on fresh tyres later on in the race.
Only half a second slower than his best time, the fastest lap of the race at 54.1. So still continuing on in effect. How good is it watching those cars that come through turn 8 through signs? That was
it is epic.
Yeah. Just right on the limit through there as we're watching Russell. He's got Gallo just tucked in behind him. And it looks like Ryan Bezniski is pitted. I do apologise for butchering that, Richard. But yeah, he makes his way into the pits. This is Russell. He's got Gallo and Caruden behind him. Andy O'Hara continues on. He's running in first place. James Pierre-Reid. He's in P2, but he is yet to pit. I think everyone else has pitted right now. Just having a look at Duong. He was a 65.2 seconds in the pits. Lawrence, who else was up there? Gallo did a 66.1. So Duong just had the edge there as well. So that's 65 seconds. Looks like it's the time to beat right now. That was Duong. We're looking at Des Mann right now. So he has recently gone back down to silver class, and he is currently sitting right now in P5 in silver class. It's actually being led by Nando Latenzio, Cryotheos and Haycock. That rounds out the top three. And then just
he had that silver pole taken away from him, but it looks like he's not letting that get in his way tonight.
He's a solid driver, Nando Latenzio. He's usually got a pretty sort of funky livery as well, so I don't know if I've seen that as much from him as of late. Herb Atron, though, he leads the AM class. He's got James Mack in P2 from him. They're down in 24th and 25th respectively. And then Mitch, is it Mark Hurley or Mitch Hurley? It's Mark Hurley. Those three down there in 24th, 25th and 26th. That gives you a bit of an update on the AM drivers, which we welcome back to the main server as well after a short-lived hiatus. But it's lovely to have them back in there, holding their own right now in 24th, 5th and 6th. But
yeah.
Sorry, go for it.
Just a little detail that I noticed as we were watching the BMW there is that the windshield wiper actually tilts depending on which way you're turning. Just the little things on this game.
That is a nice little pickup. We'll see if we can get it back on the screen. Oh, look at that!
The windshield wiper, watch as he turns left into this first corner. You'll notice it will just kind of sway a little bit to the right.
That's cool! Look at that! It is the details that make it, isn't it?
They stop at nothing.
Cool. That's awesome. Nice pickup. That's why you're here, Mitchell. Paul Ricard expert, giving us some insightful stuff there as well. We're looking at Strelnikov right now. He's chasing down Matt Frost. They're in P11 and 12 right now, so having a nice little scrap between them. Lap times between them are 54.5 on the last lap around of Frost. Strelnikov are 54.6. So nothing in it between those two, as I think Nando Latenzio takes a spot from Marcus Van Vliet, or Nando had a moment. I think Nando might have had a moment somewhere. Not sure.
Update up the front, we have seen O'Hara make his pit stop and he's come out about 2.5 seconds behind Duong. So those little mistakes that he made on those final laps of his stints do seem to have come back to bite him, as Duong now leads the race with a 2-second gap.
Yeah, I can't believe you missed that. So his pit stop time in total, so the travel time and the stationary time, 66.2 seconds. So a little bit slower than Duong by about a second. And Lawrenson was a 66.1, so pretty even between O'Hara and Lawrenson, but Duong just having the advantage. And that is where we sit right now. It's Duong from O'Hara, Lawrenson, Russell and Bruno Gallo. So he hasn't really been able to recover that pace, has he, that we saw him have early on, challenging for the lead. So he's in 5th. He's got Karudin for company. Then Hobbs is in there, Vanderlei, Vinogradov, James Pierre Reid. So he has pitted and he's moved his way up into P10. Just having a look at how many positions he's gained. None. He started in 10th and that's where he is. Alright, I was going to talk him up, but
still a quality driver. He's done pretty well. It's a pretty tough to beat field up the top, I must say. The inside scoop on Russell, it's his favourite track, and it's coming out tonight. We saw Bruno, the man, in P2 in qualifying, and here we have Russell just holding his own ahead. As there we go, 53 in the race by Andrew O'Hara. He's come out behind Duong, but he's not going to let it stay that way.
Yeah, this is going to be the challenge now. There's only 18.5 minutes left, so still a bit of time, but that clock does tick down pretty fast during a 60-minute sprint race. Now Duong's going to have to deal with Andy O'Hara behind him, and that pressure is going to slowly build as the gap will slowly come down. So it's going to be a challenge. Can Duong hold his nerve here and keep O'Hara behind him, and can O'Hara keep pushing to try and force a mistake out of Duong? Doesn't have much time left to do it. Only a tick under 18 minutes. He's set up for a good race. Duong just down a little bit already, so it's going to be the little 10th here and a 10th there, and yeah, can he keep his nerve. In the meantime,
we miss a drive-through penalty to Chris Hildebrand. So it's that part of the time of the race where your track limit breaches begin to start catching up with you. And so the first penalty has gone down.
40 minutes in. Yeah. It's not hard to do. Not hard to do at all.
It's pretty good going though, considering 40 minutes and the pace that it's gone at. It's the first one. It's not too bad. Looking, this is right now. I don't know how to.
By the man.
Yeah. The man with
the
yeah, the green Aston Martin. And O'Hara goes fastest again at 53.787 as we're watching Latenzio flying through turn 8. So Latenzio currently sitting in P3 right now of the silver standings. Leading the way though is Cesana. He's in P1 for silver, and Kryatheos is in P2.
Baczynski.
There we go.
There was a reason why I asked him during the week.
Well, you had Vinogradov or whatever it was.
Just cut to the lead. Sorry, we have got O'Hara challenging Duong as we speak.
Oh, Andy O'Hara has actually taken the lead. They're up the Mistral Straight right now. He's going to go up the inside. Can Duong bring it back?
O'Hara leaves him the space. He's going to try to hold it around the outside. But Duong, he's got him through that corner. That's impressive.
I was doing that thing that I hate watching people do when they're talking about anything else but the action on the track. But Duong and O'Hara going at it. It's going to be a long 15 minutes for Duong to keep O'Hara behind him. Andy set the fastest lap of the race on the last one around. Let's see what the times filter out here. I don't think we really need to worry about the times right now. We can see the difference on the track. And they were separated by 1/100th of a second there. So 55.865 to Duong and 8.55 to Andy O'Hara. Literally nothing in it between these two right now. 14.5 minutes left to go. Who's going to come out on top?
It really is anyone's game, but O'Hara does look really strong after setting that 53.7. I say that and he just makes a mistake in his favourite corner tonight, it seems. That 3-4 complex. We've got a 0.9 gap going onto the Mistral, so I doubt that Andy will really be getting much, if anything, from the slipstream. And just hawking at his delta, you can't really see it moving, so he is in fact out of the slipstream. But it will be interesting to see if his setup compared to Duong gives him any straight line speed. And they actually look pretty even. I was kind of expecting the Ferrari to pull away a little bit, and it looks like it will be Duong 1 and O'Hara 2 after the Mistral Straight, which is where we saw them have that action last lap.
I've seen O'Hara not necessarily get blown away on the straight as well. So despite the lack of horsepower from Porsche, it was Duong's not just streaming away from him on the back straight. So that's something to keep an eye on.
It seems like he's found that sweet spot between top speed and downforce, which is always one of the more difficult things to find in the setup, so that he doesn't lose too much pace on the straights, and he still gets a lot of downforce in the corners.
We got on the left is from the rear left quarter panel of Andy O'Hara, and on the right hand side we've got a little bit of helicam action, and we can see the lap times come through this time around of 54.472 to Duong at 54.817 to O'Hara. So Duong had the slight edge on that last lap around. 12.5 minutes left in this one. This is the battle for the lead right now. Andrew Lawrenson, he sits in P3. Bruno Gallo in 4th, and Paul Russell at his favourite circuit. He's currently sitting in the top 5 right now. Hobbs, Carudin, Vanderlei, Vinogradov, and Pierre Reid. They round out the top 10, but the action's right at the front. This is the battle for the lead.
I believe Gallo and Paul Russell have had a switch around that we've unfortunately missed. That's put Gallo into P4, but here we have O'Hara with a run on Geelong. Take us away, Nick.
Here we go. So he's going to have to do it the hard way. He's going to have to go around the outside. Geelong going to have the optimal line on the inside. We saw Andy O'Hara do it before, and he's able to just get through a little bit earlier in this series of corners. And that was great driving from Andy O'Hara. So we saw these two go side by side. It was great work earlier, and you also pointed out, Mitchell, some of the racecraft that we've seen through those series of corners on this track. Oh, he makes a little bit of a mistake there as well, Duong. So that's a bit of salt in the wound. And O'Hara is our new race leader with a tick over 11 minutes remaining. He's going to be a hard man to beat. Ryan Duong has it all ahead of him. He's going to have to look long and hard at the rear of that Porsche right now. Probably only got about another 5 laps or so, and Andy O'Hara goes the fastest lap of the race. So if he wasn't already a little bit deflated, Ryan Duong might have just felt a little bit more of that feeling in your pit of your stomach. It doesn't feel very good. So that's the lead between these two. Andy O'Hara starting to just inch away a little bit as we go back through the field. This is Kraithios and Pachinski, and they've got Latenzio for company as well, so they're down in 15th, 16th and 17th. Just having a look at, these are all silver drivers, so Cesana and Kraithios, they're a little bit further up the road for the top standings for the silver drivers as they begin another lap. So time ticking down. We are entering the final 10 minutes of this one. First 15 minutes has absolutely flown by, so I think it's a pretty good sign of an action-packed race. And that gap now between O'Hara and Duong just starting to stretch out a little bit further. Andy O'Hara on it, and he was significantly faster on that last lap around, almost two seconds. In fact, so he has the race in hand right now, as one would expect. We've got Andy in the field, but in the meantime, we're looking at Pachinski and Kraithios. This is Pierre Reid. He's going up the inside. Oh, what a save! Wow, he almost lost that on a couple of times right there, but manages to hold it up. So him and Strelnikov. One wrong, but
that registered as contact too, so there was and there's contact hit,
but that's a huge hit. That was massive. That was one of the fastest parts of the circuit, if not the fastest, and he just got a little wobble there and away he went, and he hit the wall extremely hard there, Pachinski. So you might think that could possibly be his race over. He might end up teleporting out, and he does, and you cannot blame him for doing that. So that was huge. I think we've got the replay here dialed up. Let's have a look at it. So they go side by side, and a bit of contact there, and bang, into the wall. That's huge. Could you imagine that in real life? That would have been massive. So
very painful.
That's night over for Pachinski. So his return has not ended the way that he would have imagined it to. So
bit of contact further back as well. This is Hildebrand and Stimson, I believe.
Synchronized spinning.
And there's O'Hara coming through, just in front of the leaders. You don't need that.
All coming through now. Wow, okay.
I
a little bit of drama.
initially went to that particular screenshot to see the comment there from Terry Rayton. The AIH bot. He's back where he's very used to be.
Oh, and that's Hildebrand just running a little bit wide there, so he's having a bit of a rough time of it. But Vinogradov, though, he's chasing down Art Vanderlei. This is for P8 and P9. So
yeah, like everything he's got out of this Porsche looks super twitchy on the rear end.
What are we looking for here, Mitchell? Walk us through it. What's some of the telltale signs right now?
Just a lot of twitching on the steering wheel is generally typical to see of a worn tyres, especially at the rear. So it'll be interesting to see what it looks like through this Terminal 2 complex. Goes a little bit deep there on that first apex, and a little bit understeer. He's picked up on that right. To be fair, that was quite clean, quite impressive. I'd be thinking in his boat here, kind of just really closing up as much as I can for the straight, because that's really where you're going to be seeing a lot of moves happening, as we have seen so far. The pass will lead by O'Hara, plenty of action up that end, and he is 7 tenths back. The second smart one. And it looks like he's going to be too far back to get the stream, slipstream to be able to pass on Bentley, who's driven quite well. Where did he start? He's up into 8th, which is a good drive. It's like it's just been an incident-free drive for Art Bentley up to 8th position.
He started in P14, so he's moved up 6 spots. So a nice, well spotted there. Nice drive from Vanderlei up 6. Vinogradov actually started in 5th, so he's dropped 4. He's fallen back. He's gone south. Vanderlei's gone north. So the tail of 2 drivers right there. On the right hand side though, we can see Paul Russell. So he's chasing down Bruno Gallo. So they're in 4th and 5th. Right now, Gallo in 4th. Just having a look at some of their recent lap times. Last time around, a 55.277 to Bruno Gallo, a 55 flat to Russell. So he's certainly got the edge and the pace, but it's going to be a matter of time right now as it is ticking down below 5 minutes. And this is a little bit further back in the field. This is Latanzio putting a move on Croathios. So that changes the silver standings a little bit. Croathios will go down to P3. Nando Latanzio will move himself up into P2. So that'll have championship implications. Just behind them, that's Des Mann as well in the BMW. So he's got the box seat right now, the best view in the house. But this battle now still continues between Russell and Gallo. Can Russell get a run in the Aston Martin? We've seen this happen a few times already, side by side through turn 8. Have a look at the camera work on this. Great stuff from Joe. Now onto the front splitter. And Russell falling all over the back of the Porsche right now as the time ticks down less than 4 minutes. This is for P4 and P5. Can Paul Russell get his Aston Martin up into P4 or Bruno Gallo hold on? Got about 3.5 minutes left to find out. In the meantime, it's Andy O'Hara and Ryan Duong. They're P1, P2. Andrew Lawrenson just having a bit of a lonely drive right now. Just a casual Monday evening drive in P3, but all the action at the front of the field's happening for P4 and P5 on the left-hand side there. We're watching from the rear, we were watching from the rear of the Porsche, and we're watching Paul Russell trying to hunt him down. He's got 3 minutes to get past Bruno Gallo. That's going to be no easy feat. This man has had a habit of finishing, I think, every race on the podium so far this season, and he's looking to make that a perfect record as we go into the final 3 minutes of this one.
We are seeing Lawrenson catch Duong slowly, but it might be a case of too little too late.
On the left-hand side, you've got Mitch Hobbs, who's currently in P6, and Ali Karudin in P7. So on the right-hand side, you've got 4th and 5th, and then on the left-hand side, you've got 6th and 7th. 4th and 5th and 6th and 7th. Yeah, sorry. Thought I got it wrong there.
JJ, you don't happen to, Joe, you don't happen to have 3 screens, do you? Because we are seeing Vanderlei and Vinogradov being pretty racy also.
Which I reckon we need another person. I think Joe's about as flat out as he can be right now.
We need an octopus or something.
I did 4 12-hour days last week and worked 110,000 steps in those days, and I still feel like I'm working harder right now.
And we love you for it as well, Joe. You're doing an absolutely fantastic job of producing this, and I hope all the viewers are appreciating it as well. Give us a like and a subscribe if you like as well to the channel, bringing some high quality pictures here.
Leaders on final lap.
And there it is. We've gotten the signal. It is the final lap. So the final lap to decide 4th and 5th, 6th and 7th. Left hand side there is Ali Karudin chasing down Mitch Hobbs, and on the right hand side we've got Paul Russell chasing down Bruno Gallo. They've got about 5.5 kilometres to go in this one. Andy O'Hara doing it pretty easy right now. That gap's pretty steady between him and Ryan Duong. So barring any major mishap, he looks like he's on his way to victory right now. But the positions behind him aren't all sorted out yet. So what can Paul Russell do for Gallo, and can Ali Karudin force a mistake out of Mitch Hobbs? That's going to be quite a tough task to do, as well as they're almost halfway through the lap now. They're all heading up Mistral Straight. One of the last chances they're going to have to launch an overtake. Looks like Karudin might have had a decent run there. Russell gaining a little bit on the right hand side, and Karudin might look to have a go. Russell's going to have a go around the outside. That is the long way around. Karudin and Hobbs ducking and diving up the back straight. Russell going to go around the outside, sends it. Gallo holds his nerve. Oh, it's going to be do or die now. He's only got a handful of corners left for Russell to get it done. This is not over yet. Oh, he runs a little bit deep under brakes. Has that cost him at moving up a spot? It might have. Gallo, can he hold on? He's got a couple of more corners left to do. Hobbs is holding on right now from Karudin.
Leader has finished the race.
Andy O'Hara, congratulations. He takes race victory. We're watching the cars behind him. Ryan Duong in P2. Lawrenson in P3. In P4. Bruno Gallo's going to hold on from Paul Russell. Mitch Hobbs, he looks like he's going to hold on as well from Ali Karudin, so they fight it out to the bitter end. That's in 6th and 7th. And then we've got this little battle here. This is Lattanzio and Kroathios as well. So that's going to be the silver drivers. So Kroathios and Lattanzio, they're battling it out in the silver class for P2 and P3. Cesana, he's up the road in P1. So silver's the minors places here not decided as yet. Hemi Bateman, he crosses the line. Cesana, he takes victory in the silver class. Congratulations to him. The places behind him still not sorted out yet. Lattanzio just needs to hold on for one more turn, and he does. So he's going to take home P2 in the silver class, and then it is going to be Kroathios round out the podium for silver. And then just having a look a little bit further down, I believe James Mack is going to take home the AM victory. He's in P23. And Mark Hurley in P24 for James Mack, 25 Mark Hurley. That's the AM. And then Herb Atron in P3. So he rounds out the podium with Scotland there. Harley Scotland down in 27th. But our race winner for this evening, and he's not budged from the top step, it's Andy O'Hara. He did it a little bit more the hard way tonight. He started in P4 but managed to work his way into the race quite nicely, and he's taken home victory. So congratulations to him. Ryan Duong in second and Andrew Lawrenson in P3 rounding out our podium. Awesome work from those guys. Great racing tonight, and poor Ricard, fellas, it's delivered again.
It has. Epic race. I'm glad that I decided to join you guys for this one because we really weren't short on action at all night.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That 60 minutes has absolutely flown by. So we're seeing the final results there. So for Silver Class, Cesana, Latenzio, and Cryotheos, that's your top three. And then for the Pro Division, it is O'Hara, Duong, and Lawrence. Is JJ just working away right until the very end. Hard-working man. This is the AM results as well. You can see well-deserved from James Mack there, taking out victory. Welcome back to the AM, and a good start for him. So, that was fun. That was 60. That was a proper 60-minute sprint race. That was a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
There's going to be some stories to tell from this particular race as well. I think there's a lot of drama from that lap 1 incident. There's going to be a bit come from it because definitely turn 1 incidents are really frowned upon, and they do look at them very, very closely. So it'll be interesting to see what the trusted drivers panel has a look at with that one. Baczynski's first race back, that was very unfortunate with a big contact. So he finished in the pits, I think.
Yeah, remember that big,
That was a big hit.
What about how did Nathan Wilson go? He ended up P23.
So good comeback after being at the back of the field after that contact and spin 2/3 of the way around the first lap.
Well, big shout out to Desman as well. So he going down to Silver Class, he made up 15 positions in this race. So awesome work from him. I think he was the highest had the highest amount of increases. So awesome stuff. But that wraps up round 4. We are all done with Paul Ricard. Next week, though, we're back to the Enduros. We've got a 100-minute Enduro, and we're going to be doing it around Kyalami, a track with, I would have to say, some of, if not the best corner names in the game. Crocodiles, Mineshaft, Sunset, barbecues. It's going to be fun, and we are going to do it all again next Monday. Joe, Mitchell, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's been awesome to have you, Mitchell, and Joe. Your efforts are certainly appreciated in the quality of the producing that was on tonight. I don't think we missed any of the action. So well done to both of you. Awesome job.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, and thanks for the drivers for putting on quite a good show.
Yes, and thank you to the drivers as well. Some more top-notch racing as we've come to expect in RaceOnOz. So that wraps up everything for tonight, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed that. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll be back next Monday night. If there's some more racing you're after, then you're in the right place. Tomorrow night, the Console League is going to be going at it, and Joe will be commentating along with Jamie as well. So you'll be able to see that on the channel. If not, we'll see you again next Monday. My name is Nick. I've been joined by Joe and Mitchell. Enjoy the rest of your week, everyone. Stay safe, and we'll see you next week.